Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Ganganasadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. This work that we are going to talk about is one of the most sacred dialogues because it happens between two enlightened beings. One is Ashtavakra, the other is King Janaka, which was Ashtavakra's disciple. So in it you will have a glimpse of the instruction of an enlightened being so that you can achieve liberation, and also the vision of how a liberated being stands, acts, what is his experience. So pay attention to these teachings, fill your heart with surrender, devotion, sacredness, because that is the way to enjoy it the most. May it blossom in your heart. May you also find liberation. Moving on, 5th chapter of Ashtavakra Samhita. The title is of this chapter, 4 Ways to Dissolution. So this is a very high teaching. It's definitely not for beginners, not even in the Advaitic teachings. This is very high. Because it talks about dissolution. And dissolution has a specific meaning that we will go into, more or less. So Ashtavakra says, you are free from contact with anything whatsoever. Therefore, pure as you are, what do you want to renounce? Destroy the body complex, and in this way enter into the state of dissolution. So, many confusion is made with these verses. Yes, so let's go. You are free from contact with anything whatsoever. Nothing touches you. So, renunciation is talked about sense objects, but nothing can touch you, so you cannot touch anything also. So nothing is yours. So what do you want to renounce? Because look, you are pure. You are untouched by any of that. And what is that in this case? It is the universe, the sense objects. What else are sense objects? You could say that, okay, so this book, it doesn't touches me. Apparently it does, but it doesn't. But you're mistaken, because the body, mind, is also a sense object. And you are not touched by it. So you are not touched by what you call your body and your mind, neither the universe or sense objects. So what do you wish to renounce? There's nothing to be renounced, because you are pure and untouched always. But then says, destroy the body complex, and in this way enter in the state of dissolution. What is this, destroy the body complex? Does this mean put a hand grenade and make it explode? Well, that could solve the physical issue, but others would remain the same, and another incarnation would continue for the body, of course. It means if I'm untouched by anything, why am I investing in anything, wasting time with anything, applying this lower self to anything? Remove the importance out of everything. Act upon this vision. I'm untouched by anything. I am that pure being. So when you give up the story of the character, the investments of the character, because it survives on purpose, on importance, this is destroying the body complex. And by destroying the body complex, the universe disappears because it is there only for this body complex. So what gives reality apparent, of course? It is purpose. So people need a purpose to live for, so they imagine. But if you disengage from all of these activities' importances, you enter the state of dissolution. So this is an advanced teaching because spiritual practices are for this body complex. When these forces, the attachments, fragilities, dependencies, desires, aversions, when all this is so intense, that there's such a strong identification that you cannot separate them. It's like your consciousness is trapped there. So spiritual disciplines are to make you move closer and closer to the natural stillness state, so that dissolution can take place. But for dissolution, it's like, so these spiritual practices in the first stance are trying to halt these investments and trying to create a separation between all these manifestations and identity. But this identity is doing this still from the perspective, I am the body. Then it has to move beyond that. Then the object of perception is the body-mind, and you are untouched by it. And if you are not that, you stop investing. You resume your natural state. And so, this is what it means, destroying the body complex. Stop investing in the character's story. Abide by the firm belief, I am the self and nothing else. And everything is unreal. The universe rises from you, like bubbles rising from the sea. Thus know the self to be one, and in this way enter into the state of dissolution. So again, the universe rises from you like bubbles rising from the sea. That means you are infinite compared to the universe. But still, you believe yourself to be a body, a small body, in this enormous universe. From your perspective, almost infinite universe. And you desire things from it. You take it from as real. You take yourself as miserable. in the quest, in the pursuit of happiness through these circumstances. But here it is saying that, look, you may have that perception, but this is a nothing that rises from your supreme being, from you. So don't take this story for real, because it bears no reality. So thus know the self to be one, meaning forget about what the senses are telling you that are many or whatever. It is just one, it is just you. So close your eyes to duality. And in this way, enter into the state of dissolution. All of these two verses are pointing in the same direction. Close your eyes to illusion. Close your eyes to duality and wake up to oneness. Because by closing your eyes, it is the same as saying, I don't want anything else from this world anymore. It's quite different from the fancy teachings and interpretations. And this is a must for a seeker of truth. You must stand by this firmly. I don't want anything else from this world, neither the worlds beyond. I just want the truth liberation. And when you abide by this, it's like you're being pushed into a play. But if you decide, stop playing, if you deny to play, I will not play anymore, and you abide by this, illusion has no other choice but to dissolve. Body complex, universe, they are the same. And they have no choice but to dissolve. And once illusion dissolves, only truth remains. Truth shines forth. And that's your real identity. So this dissolution is about stopping the story, stopping the play altogether. And this gives a very clear statement that you are the infinite being. And this whole universe is just like a bubble that's rising from the ocean that you are. So you are by far greater than all of this. So don't believe the impressions and abide by, I don't want anything else from this world and any world beyond. And in this way, enter in the state of dissolution. This is advanced teachings. The mind can play with this in a naive way, but this is big once you understand it. The universe, because it is unreal, being manifested like the snake in the rope, does not exist in you who are pure, even though it is present to the senses. Therefore, in this way, enter in the state of dissolution. By this clear understanding, by this clear teaching, the universe, because it is unreal, it doesn't exist. So there's no question about it, what the purpose of the world is and this and that. It's not real. Being manifested like the snake in the rope. Remember this famous comparison. There's a rope in a place where the vision is not perfect, and the mind tricks you on seeing a snake, and you're living that. In the moment that you see the snake, according to the level of your fears and beliefs, you will live that vision as a reality. And would you ask, after knowing that it wasn't a snake, what is the purpose of that snake there? Where did it come from? Where is it going? Why is it there? These questions cannot arise if there's no snake, if it is an optical illusion. So similarly, for the world. So the manifestation of the world is like the manifestation of that snake. It appeared as an optical illusion. So there's no question on understanding what it is. Here it is. Does not exist in you who are pure, and by far bigger than that. But it has no real substance. So what importance are you giving to everything? Makes no sense. Even though it is present to the senses of the body complex. So even though it appears to be, that vision of the snake, it is present to the senses also. But there's no snake there. It's just a rope. It is a wrong perception. But as this wrong perception persists, it is a reality. You're seeing a snake. But once the rope is seen, the snake disappears. You cannot say, where did it went? Where has it come from? It just disappears. It wasn't there. And by understanding this, enter in the state of dissolution, because, well, no more investments in that which doesn't exist. No more desiring something through something that doesn't exist. So it's like action, no purpose for action. Stillness, let those structures collapse in whatever way is suited. You are perfect, and in the same in misery and happiness, hope and despair. And life and death. Therefore, in this way, enter into the state of dissolutions. So, you are perfect and the same. Nothing changes in you. In misery and happiness, in hope and despair, or even in life and death, because these are all pertaining to the body complex. So the body complex, according to its own preferences, sees misery or happiness, has hope or despair according to different circumstances, lives and dies. But you are not the body complex. So when you are detaching from the body complex, putting it aside, if you're detaching is because you're attached. So that's a part that needs to be accomplished. Yes, as you cannot move beyond, But here is the beyond. It's like putting it aside. It's irrelevant, non-existent. And all these states that the body complex undergoes, they do not touch me. I, that am perfect. And same and always untouched. So all these different circumstances, from the outer part, the external part of the body, and from the internal part of the body, this intimate space of perception, the moods, thoughts, sensations, all these things that are always changing, they do not touch me, that I'm pure. Therefore, in this way, with this vision, backed by the appropriate attitude, enter in the state of dissolution. Close your eyes to illusion and let it dissolve.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.